Hey everybody, thank you very much for joining me in this video. I am bringing you another favorites. I know it's relatively recently since I uploaded a kind of catch-all favorites video for the first part of the year, but I'm trying to get back on the stick and I have some stuff to share, so let's just dive into it. I have a few bits of skincare I want to talk about first. The very first one may or may not focus or show up well on camera, but it is from Isntree, which is a cruelty-free Korean skincare brand. I bought this because I watch every Gothimista video ever, and she talks about this a lot. I was having a lot of dehydration issues with my skin in the wintertime. I got this around December, and it's done wonders. I don't have any dehydration issues right now. My skin is actually in really good shape right now, and I definitely have this to thank for a lot of that. It's a very simple, quick, easy. I'll sometimes use this twice a day. It doesn't irritate my skin. It doesn't have any weird smell. It's very much like water. And I will usually actually just, I think you're supposed to put it on a cotton pad, but I just put a little in my hand and kind of pat it into my face after cleansing or at night after my exfoliator, and I absolutely love it. I got it on Amazon. I think it was about 20 bucks. I've been using it since December pretty much every day, and I've only made that much of a dent in it, so I think it's gonna last for a while. And yeah, highly recommend. The next item is not necessarily new to my collection. It is from Sonia Kashuk, and it is the Dissolve Gel to Oil Makeup Removing Cleanser. So I use this like an oil cleanser, double cleansing at night. It's kind of a viscous, weird jelly consistency, but I will just put this over my face, my eyes, everything, rub it in gently, of course, massage it in, add a little water. It rinses away, takes off pretty much all of my makeup. And I am especially loving this at the moment because I'm using the CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser, which is great. Again, you know, I was having those dehydration issues, so I figured I'd try the hydrating version. But I don't find that that actually cleanses very well. It doesn't really remove makeup very well, so I'm really happy to have something like this that really gets all of that makeup off, and then the hydrating cleanser can just kind of, any little last bits that might be left, it can take care of. So this is great. I got it on wicked sale at Target. It was like $5. It's usually, you know, like 12, 14. Oh wait, 15. Just kidding. Usually $15. I think they're phasing out a lot of the Sonia Kashuk stuff, so I was very happy to grab another tube of this. I do plan on making my own oil cleanser at some point, but well, I have that, I can just use it. I have a couple of skincare samples I just want to mention, mostly to see if you guys have tried either of these and what your thoughts are. The first one is from Drunk Elephant, and it is the TLC Framboos Glycolic Night Serum. I've been wanting to try stuff from Drunk Elephant for forever, but it's really freaking expensive. But I hear great things about it. And so this walked into my life, and I've been using it for maybe a month or so. I think it's just not the product for me. So glycolic acid is a chemical exfoliator. It's an AHA and alpha hydroxy acid. Gonna sound super smart, but I'm not really. And my skin tends to like BHAs, beta hydroxy acids, like the Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA gel. I'm getting real close to the end of this. This is my favorite exfoliator of all time. I've gone through a few bottles of this and the variations. And I've tried a couple of glycolic products before this. I've tried the Pixie Glow Tonic. That broke me out, although I always figured it was the fragrance in there and not the actual kind of acid. But yeah, that it's disappointing and yet not, because now I can save however much this is usually. But this is a really healthy sample. I was able to get a month's use out of it, so that's pretty cool. But I think I will continue to repurchase the Paula's Choice. I have been interested in trying the Ordinary's 2% salicylic. But for one thing, this will last me about 6 months, and the Ordinary products that I've tried have mostly lasted for a month. So over time, I think this is actually a more cost-effective option. And also, what is happening with the CEO of Deciem? He's making me not want to purchase products from Deciem. So Deciem needs to get their shit together. That's a whole other story that I don't really need to get into, but it is making me question whether I want to continue buying from The Ordinary. So anyway, the other sample I have is from Ole Henriksen, and this is the Truth Serum. So it's vitamin C serum. I'm on day 5 of using this, so I can't really speak to it, but already I know that I don't like that it is fragranced and that it is dyed. I don't know why we need our vitamin C things to be orange, but this smells like oranges. It actually smells like, it smells exactly like children's Motrin, the orange children's Motrin. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that. I loved it. I would like fake a headache so I could drink some of that because it was all sugar anyway. Strange childhood habits, but it smells like that, and it's also dyed orange, which is not great because a way to tell if vitamin C has kind of gone off, it's not effective anymore, is it turns orange. So if a product is already orange, how do you know if it's still good? This is only a sample, so I'm not too worried about it. I have heard really good things, so I'd be really curious if any of you have used this, what your experience has been. In the last favorites video I uploaded, I talked about this Milani Prime Protect primer. So it's a face primer, makeup primer that has SPF 30. I had got this just to try it out, see if I would like it, if it could maybe be a cheaper alternative to the Paula's Choice sunscreens that I usually use, although I don't think it would be even if it worked out for me. Now, I had been singing its praises in that video because I had just started using it and it seemed to be working out really well. And then it started to break me out. And I have realized that there is a sunscreen ingredient because I started to look back on other sunscreens that have broken me out, like the CeraVe Day Moisturizer SPF 30. There was a Paula's Choice sunscreen that broke me out really badly. And they all have avobenzone in them. So I think that my skin really doesn't like avobenzone. So I have to just remember to check SPF products for that ingredient before I buy 2 of them, like I did with this. So that's unfortunate. However, I have been playing with this SPF. So this is from Australian Gold, which according to the research that I have done is a cruelty-free brand. They have a lot of claims on the back of all of the things that they are free from. And so far, I am really liking this. This is the Botanical Sunscreen Tinted Face SPF 50 lotion. It does have a tint to it. It has, I don't know if any of you have tried, there's a Paula's Choice sunscreen that has a little bit of a tint to it, that once it's blended into the skin, I didn't notice any kind of coverage from. This actually reminds me a lot of that sunscreen, but it's cheaper. I think it was like $13. And that is the tint to it. It did look a little bit dark when I was squeezing it out, but it blends in really nice. It doesn't oxidize or dry down to a darker shade like some other things that I talked about last time. Elf primer. And I really like the texture of it. It does have squalane in it, which I realized after I had bought it. So I wrote the company and asked if the squalane they used in their products is plant or animal based, and they said that it's plant based. They might be lying to me, but that's what they said, so I'm gonna go with it. So I can now kind of happily and confidently recommend this, because I've really been enjoying it. And I actually find that it's a great primer under makeup. It has a little bit of grip to it. So it's just, I've all around been really impressed with it. Next thing I want to talk about is this lovely little palette right here. This is the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne collaboration palette. It was always one of those palettes that I would see and I would lust after because it was primarily shimmery, bright. It's kind of my perfect palette. And I never had the money or the desire to spend the money on it, but then it went on sale. So I got this for just under $20, and I absolutely love it. The packaging is really pretty. It is cardboard, but it has little magnetic closure, which is fun. And then it has these shades in it. I know a lot of people did not like this kind of jumbled mishmash of shapes and all that stuff. I don't really give a shit, honestly. To be quite frank, I'm much more concerned with the eyeshadows themselves and how they perform, and this, it's just beautiful. I have realized that I really, especially, I think I did a video recently about the new Wet n Wild stuff, the new Wet n Wild palettes. This palette reminds me a lot of the older formula of Wet n Wild's eyeshadows. It's very kind of dense and creamy and pigmented. I think it's awesome. I love it, love it, love it. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. I have Stay Gold along most of my lid with Lime Time in the outer corner. I have Brixton, which is one of these two duochromes. These are awesome, by the way. Let me just... They are super pretty, but I have Brixton around the inner corner. Let me... I don't know if they're even... They don't... Camera does not do them justice, I must say. But Brixton has more of kind of a pinky purpley duochrome, and then the other shade is called Leo, and it has that kind of green, gold, blue thing going on. But I love these. These blues are just, oh my god, layering Leo over, well, pretty much any of these is amazing. There are only two mattes. This black shade and then this orange shade are both mattes. They're very nice. I have no complaints. I think it's a great palette when I'm filming this, and I'm hoping to edit and get this out within the next 24 hours. We'll see. This is still available on Sephora's website, so yeah, if this is the kind of formula and the kind of colors that you dig, get it. You won't regret it. Or maybe you will. I don't know. I don't. I love it. I want to talk powders really quickly now. Again, last video, and a few videos actually, I've talked about really loving this e.l.f. finishing powder in Fair Light. You can see I've hit pan on it. I was watching a video from Kaylee Boot. I don't know. I love her. I've been following her since before she started making videos, when she was doing her blog, Hello Kaylee. But she was talking about this powder in a recent video and how it would darken her makeup by the end of the day. And I realized that it did the same thing to me. It was one of those things that I would look in the mirror and be like, oh, there's some separation here. What's happening? And then I wouldn't really think about it. It was just something I noticed in passing, but then when she said that, it kind of clicked in my head, that is this. So now I'm scared to use it. Like I said, I have hit pan on it. I'll probably continue to use it just to use it up, but I have mostly been using this Wet n Wild pressed powder in Warm Light, which I like. I like that both of these don't get cakey. I do tend to be a little heavy-handed with powder, at least at first. This is a good shade match. They both have a little bit of coverage. They both have a similar, almost kind of creamy texture. It's very soft, but this doesn't kind of dry down. I don't know if it's something about, you know, the powder soaking up oil or what, but this doesn't change the color of my makeup throughout the day. It is a little more kind of sheeny. It's not dewy or shimmery or anything like that, but it's certainly not mattifying either. So I still need to pick up a powder that does have a little bit more of a mattifying effect, because I tend to prefer it, especially along the center of my face. Last but not least, while we're talking about Wet n Wild, I have finally found some of their Gotho, whatever the Goth spring collection was called. It was silly. I have a love-hate relationship with this because I love the packaging, I have to say, but I just want to roll my eyes a lot. But let's just move on. So I have bought everything that I'm going to from that collection. I was very proud of myself in just grabbing the things that I really wanted and not grabbing everything because I could. I have 2 of the liquid Catsuit eyeshadows. This darker one is called Nyctophilia, and it's kind of a sheer purple base with purple and pink glitter in it. It's really pretty as kind of a top coat. My favorite one though is this one called Goth Tears. Again, I roll my eyes, but the eyeshadow itself is gorgeous. So this is a really beautiful, and again, the duochrome isn't really showing up as much on camera, but it is a really beautiful kind of lavender baby blue duochrome situation. It's not glitterily, it's not glittery like Nyctophilia is, but it definitely has, as you can see, a lot of really beautiful shine. Again, it's a little bit sheer when the light's not hitting it, but I just kind of plan to use these as top coats anyway. I'm going to scoot on over. Hey guys, light's really weird. Just got super dark. Easter, so it is April 4th as I am filming this. Easter, which was April 1st. It was almost 60 degrees, sunny, beautiful. April 2nd, it snowed like 4 inches. Yesterday, it was freezing cold. And today, it I think is a little bit warmer, more like 50, 60, and downpouring. So, welcome to spring in New England. So the other 2 items that I got from this collection are both highlighters. One is one of the pressed highlighters. This is in White Raven. I love the packaging, that kind of holographic thing going on. The packaging and the details of this collection is really super cute, I have to say. And it has a skull pressed into the powder. Now this is again one of those kind of white-based, not as natural but still fun powders. So you can see it's definitely something that I will wear with a specific makeup look. This has a little bit less of a violet shift. It still has a little bit, it's very cool, but it's a little bit pinkier. So if those kind of purple highlighters are not quite your cup of tea and you have pale skin and you want to play with it but with a little bit more pink, this might be something to look for. I've just started to see these around in my local stores, so I'm assuming that we still have some time to find this collection. But I think it's beautiful. I just love it and how it looks. My favorite though is the loose highlighting powder. Again, super cute packaging. This is only comes in one shade. It's called Moon Tears. I'm wearing it today. Very sheer. It's a pretty intense highlighter. You could really build it up to be, it's not generally my cup of tea. Let me swatch out a little. Oh, it's so pretty. You can see it has a really nice gold shift to it. And you can see the difference in the shine level. And because it's not as white based like White Raven is, it looks a little bit more natural on the skin. It's beautiful. And this is a mess because it's a loose powder. Yeah, you can see the sifter is also a skull shape, which is really cute. So those are all of my makeup skincare favorites. I have a couple of other random favorites that I just wanted to mention. The first is I had the great good luck and good fortune to be able to see Hamilton on Broadway in New York City earlier last month. Technically it's April now, even though this is March favorites. And guys, I don't know why I wanted to include this in the video because I'm kind of speechless about it. It was so freaking good. We went, me and a bunch of friends who are equally as unhealthily obsessed with the show went. I paid way too much money for a drink at the venue so that I could have this fun little mug. I also paid way too much money for a t-shirt, and am seriously considering paying way too much money for another t-shirt because the show was amazing. Our seats were great. We had actually bought our tickets in March. No, we saw the show in March. We bought the tickets in August. So it's been a long time coming. I've been very excited about it. And not only did we see the show, okay, but at the end of the show, you know, if you've been to the theater, they are usually helping to raise money for some sort of organization or charity or something. And they were doing that at this show. And so they showed some stuff that they were selling to raise money for a couple of different organizations like Broadway Cares and things like that. Who walks out holding the stuff? Lin-Manuel Miranda, the one and only. Oh my gosh, the noise and the feeling in that theater, I could move me to tears if I think about it too much, because, you know, we are also appreciative of what he has brought into the world, and it was really cool to see him even at a distance. It was a perfect day, and I hope that I get to see the show again. It is coming to my area next summer, so crossing my fingers and toes and anything else that can cross that I can see it again. So my other kind of random favorite this month has been Critical Role. I don't know if any of you have seen this or heard of it, but it's basically a bunch of voice actors get together and play D&D. And it's amazing because they're voice actors, so they all kind of take on their characters, and then the dungeon master does all the voices of all the characters. So it's like listening to a play. It's a giant time suck because the episodes are between 3 and 4 hours long, but they're really great, and they're also huge Hamilton fans. And there's usually a reference or a little sing-along at some point in each episode, which, as an obsessed person, I appreciate. So I highly recommend checking that out if you're into that sort of thing. Or even if you're not, you might find that it's something fun to just have on in the background. You don't necessarily have to watch it. I'm usually doing other things and have that on in the background, but it's been really fun, and I really love it, and I want to be best friends with all of the people involved, because I need hobbies. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to know what you've been loving this month, whether it has been a favorite makeup or skincare item, or a favorite memory, or a favorite video game, or whatever. Let's share. I'd love to know. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.